Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Welcome, my fellow breadheads, to the One and Done Recap Show, powered by drroto.com. My name is Chris, aka Nate C. Hustle, here with two of the best in the business, ready to go through this past week's headlines, some explosive players, and some DFS plays for Monday. Just want to let you know, Jay took the night off to hit up some American Idol auditions to pursue his singing career. So good luck to him. But let me introduce the Green Screens Media crew here. The captain of the Green Screens Media ship, Mr. Money Mike Holland. How are we feeling today, my man?
What up, man? What up? I've been traveling a lot in the last 36 hours, so I'm glad to be back home. Took the day off from some DFS world. So that was nice. Saturday was a long day of sweating bullets. PrizePicks was kind of okay, but yeah, man, for the most part, just ready to re-energize and go into this week strong. So I'm excited to chat about what we did this week, and the Core Four, of course, coming a little bit later in the show, and then the Power Rankings, man. I'm excited for that too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Lots of movement there, right? Now, this wouldn't be a one and done show without our Baron of Bread. Now, I think we should all do our best Jay impression here with the, ready for it? 1, 2, 3. Eric
the Blue.
Mr. Eric Roloff, how we doing, brother?
Man, we're doing good. Like Mike mentioned, the DK streets have been solid, right? Those core fours have been hitting 4.5, 5, 6x some nights. PrizePicks still stacking up that bankroll. And actually a little bit of breaking news here. We just got tagged. Our friend MK took down the dollar the other night, turned a buck into 116. Love seeing these green screens. Love seeing everyone out there stacking up this bread. And we have some of our original breadheads in the comments already. See Thuggin Cam himself. Jay, what an animal out there trying out for American Idol. And, of course, Mama Rocks. Good to see you as well.
We got some clarification.
Oh.
That's me. Oh, MK.
All MK right. is cool. Mama Rocks. There we go with the dollar. It's a little hard with Twitter names, with YouTube names. So congrats on the dub. Love seeing that out there. Love seeing that bankroll swell.
There you go. Right on. Well, yeah, congrats. Thanks for the comments. Let's keep them coming. Make sure you like and subscribe. Appreciate y'all being with us here live. So let's kind of jump into some headlines here for the week, gentlemen. Just going to jump into Marquette, right? They beat up on Texas at home, 86-65 in the Shaka Smart Bowl. Mike, man, what happened to your horns, my man?
Didn't I say they were going to get blown out? I think there's a recording of me saying they're probably going to get blown out. There's two styles. I don't like it. Texas isn't at full strength right now. Max Asmus, man, he came out on fire. Eric was pretty hyped because I think he had him on a few lineups, and he went 3 for 3 to start the game from 3. Horns got up 9-2 or 9-3 to start, and then they went 1 for 15 from 3, and they couldn't stop anybody. So I don't know how you can't figure out how to get Shedrick any touches. It just seemed like they couldn't get the ball to him within the first 10 minutes of the game. I'm not too worried about Texas. A tough road game. Shaka really wanted this one, even though he tried to say he didn't. They're from Marquette, on the other hand, man. They look really good. Tyler Kolek. We've been waiting. 26-8-6. So maybe that stat line will get him going. We continue to talk about the bench player, right? Like Ben Gold, Chase Ross. They're giving this team a lift, and so good win for Shaka. He's always been able to rack up those regular season wins. Really just a question of what he's going to do when it comes to tournament time. It was also cool as a Longhorn, obviously got the hat and the shirt to go with it. Him and Brock Cunningham, many moons ago, 6 years ago, he recruited him. So it's cool to see their embrace just before tip off. So yeah, just a beat down, but hey, those happen in college basketball. So
Mike, I gotta get your unbiased opinion here. I think it was a few weeks ago. when UConn was getting ready to play your horns, you were categorizing that as a potential statement win for the Huskies. Are the Longhorns still in statement win territory, or are you starting to cool down on them a little bit?
We'll go back and run the tape on that. I don't think I said that as a statement when I think UConn was going to blow them out because Shedrick wasn't going to. I don't think we knew that answer. They needed to sue with Klingon, but yeah, I mean, Longhorns are number 12 in the country, so I mean, it's not like they're this terrible team. I think they're 36th on KenPom. So defensive metrics are kind of whack, but Dylan Dessou is obviously, one of the top 50 to 75 players in the country. So when he comes back, this team's going to look, and Shedrick's been injured too. So once he comes back, this team's going to look a lot different. Also, A. Smith's adjustment, a whole different system, played 4 years at Oral Roberts. So, I mean, it's just a whole deal.
Can't throw on too much shade, right? Like, this is what Marquette is supposed to do at home.
Yeah, this is what they're supposed to do at home. They're favored, I think, by 8 or 9, and it just got out of hand. So, they just nailed every 3. So, just is what it is. Not too worried about it. I think we got some comments, Chris.
Yeah, we got some comments in here. We got Corey McDaniel. He's back. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Welcome. Appreciate you coming back with us.
Yeah.
And
love seeing the love out there, Mama Rocks.
Where is the love?
Oh, see, now we got Mike.
Someone's got to sing.
Here.
It's rubbing off, man. If you saw the last show, it was like every other. All right. Anyway,
you're singing lines with Jay on his audition.
Yeah,
right? There
exactly.
Well, moving on to the Pac-12 here. Washington pulls off a huge neutral court victory over the Zags last night, 78-73. Eric, Washington's played a tough schedule, but now they sit 6-3. Can they challenge the Pac-12?
Yeah, I think so, right?
Like, that's your Pac-12, Chris.
I know, my Pac-12, baby.
the Pac-12, like, I mean, look, Arizona is obviously like full steam ahead, but behind them, like, why not Washington? You mentioned their tough schedule, Chris. They've got 3 losses. They were all close games to quality teams: Nevada, San Diego State, Colorado State, right? Like, no shame in dropping tough ones against those teams. And you look at this roster, right? You've got Keon Brooks, you've got Javier Willer. These are guys that have looked awesome so far. These are also very high pedigree guys, right? These are guys that came over from Kentucky. So, we know that they are very polished prospects, and they look to be developing here as at Washington. So, yeah, I mean, the Pac-12 race, like, it should shape up to be a pretty fun one, right? Like, Arizona seems to be the class of the league, but after that, like, feels like it's wide open. We now have another team in the mix with Washington. And then for the Zags, like, I mean, it's a tough one. It's their second loss on the season. They just couldn't get it going from 3, right? Like, shot 27% from behind the arc. It's gonna be hard to win games when you're shooting that poorly. You got guys like Nembhard, you got guys like DK Watson. These look like a very capable big 3 that are, at least primed for a deep March run, right? If everything gets clicking for them. The question really is kind of behind them, right? Like, where is the depth on this team? If they're going to need to get deeper into rotation, if someone bumps into foul trouble, like, does this version of the Gonzaga Bulldogs have the horses for a deep run, right? You love them on the front line, but after that, the back end of the bench is where you start to get a little bit concerned.
Yeah, I think they had 3 guys with 4 fouls in the starting lineup. So, and they only played 6 guys over 15 minutes. So, yeah, I mean, it's tough when you can't play, tough defense for 40 minutes. So, that's going to be in question. So, I just wanted to throw in my 2 cents right there on the old Zaggies.
Your 2 cents are always appreciated, my man. Yeah, I mean, Pac-12, they're not done yet, right? One last year, one last ride, right? We see
the last ride.
One last ride. We see it in football even. I know this is college basketball stuff, but football is doing the same thing right now, right?
So Texas beats Washington.
Yeah, right. Well, sticking with the Pac-12, Arizona just demolished Wisconsin at home, 98-73, to prove they are the.
Oh, did we lose Chris there?
I think we might have lost Chris. We'll give him a minute to get reconnected. So, yeah, as he was saying, Mike, Arizona still looking like the class of college basketball where we sit today. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, man, like they put it all together. It's crazy how well Caleb Love's performed. We saw a tweet from Sean Paul CBB today. It read, he's posting a career best in assists to turnover ratio, a career best shooting percentage, rebounding, 9th in points per possession as the primary defender nationally, which makes him an elite level defender at this point. So, I mean, the motivation's there for him. He put up 27-5. Just an awesome effort. You've obviously got Ballo and Key Johnson, just monsters in the paint defensively. They both had really good games. So, yeah, Arizona's looking like the class of college basketball right now. We'll see. Got some tough games coming up, but for Wisconsin, that they played a pretty tough schedule. Like, this is no joke when you run down the list of teams that they played. I mean, they got crushed on the glass. You talk about Key Johnson and Ballo, 13 rebound disparity there. They also lost the free throw battle on the road 26-8. You wanna get those numbers a little bit closer to each other to have a chance for a tough road win. And then Tyler Wall, man, like we were talking about it in DFS, right? It's like he fouled out. He didn't have a great game. And like Wisconsin, he should be like one of their go-to guys, and it just feels like he's kind of fallen off a little bit. And we know the talent's there. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't see this being a 25-point blowout, but man, tough for Wisconsin to travel on the road and for an Arizona team that's clicking on all cylinders. And looks like we got Nate C. Hustle back with his first pull the plug moment there. I guess he doesn't like talking too much about the Pac-12.
I think it's just Arizona is what it is.
If you guys don't know, he's an Arizona State fan.
Oh, just gotta love technology here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think we got another comment.
Yeah, the comment. Imitating freezing up like Arizona's opponents. Yeah. As he turns his Sun Devil hat around. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. Well, to move along from Arizona, we'll go to the next headline here. Purdue had a late second half surge that propelled them to a nice road win at Alabama, 92-86. Eric, your boy Edie went off for 35 points. Are you on the Boilermaker train now?
I think I am. I mean, look, like the Boilermakers have been one of my favorite teams to dunk on because they're one of few, actually I think technically the only team to lose to a 14, 15, and 16 seed in consecutive years. But I think this year is going to be different. Zach Edey, he absolutely went off. You mentioned 35 points, but really it's the guard play that's got this team rolling. Braden Smith is becoming a legit superstar right before our eyes, right? 27, 5, and 8 in this game. They're handling ball pressure this year, which was not the case last year. You could totally trap them and get them to make some mistakes. This year, they only have 9 turnovers as a team. And yes, at least as we stand right now, if this trend holds, Edey is very much so on track to win another Naismith Award, right? So the questions for them last year had to do with how much they could depend on a freshman backcourt. This year, that year of experience seems to be paying dividends, and the Boilermakers seem to be absolutely rolling. And on the Bama side, this one's got to hurt a little bit, right? Like they were up at halftime, they kind of let it slip away. They got into some foul trouble, and after that point, they really couldn't stop anything, right? Mark Sears, shout out, fantastic game, 35 points himself. With the Crimson Tide, would have been nice to get this one because the schedule's not getting much easier in the near term. They're going to have to face off against Creighton. They're going to have to face off against the aforementioned Arizona Wildcats soon. So would have been nice to walk into that stretch with a win, but now they're going to have to try to punch above their weight class a little bit.
Yeah, time to buckle down and get back to basics. Get going there. All right, time for the last headline. And Mike, I'm going to send this one over to you. Ole Miss is off to a 9-0 start after a 70-68 win at UCF. What are your thoughts on the Rebels here?
Oh, Chris Beard doing it again. We teased it a little bit last week.
Keep getting away with this.
Man, how does he do this? We know how he does it. He's a really good recruiter. They play tough defense. The Sharp Cisse combination at the 5 is just ridiculous. They're like 2 of the 5 returning shot blockers in the country. One's like 7'6", Sharp 7'4", Cisse 7'1". You get 40 minutes from them combined, and you are going to wreak havoc on defensive end. And Alan Flanagan, man, got to give him his flowers again, man, breaking out nationally. Another great game, averaging 18, but he scored 18 points in this game. So tournament talk is starting to get a little real for Ole Miss. And then UCF, when we did our Big 12 preview show, they were one of the newcomers coming in that would struggle a little bit. They played okay. They do have that bad loss to Stetson. This could have been a nice, kind of resume booster. Jarius Johnson had a pretty nice game. I really like the way he plays at the point guard position. He had 25 points, but everybody else struggled. Just couldn't get the three ball going. So, they're going to get their one or two surprise wins in the Big 12, but it's hard to confidently put them above anybody in the Big 12, but it is the Big 12, and they've shown a little bit of heart. So we'll see when it gets to conference play. But yeah, got to shout out Chris Beard. He's doing his thing, man. And who knows, if he keeps this up, he might end up on our power rankings here in the next week or two. So we'll see.
Getting away with it.
All right. Well, hopefully we can bestow that prestigious award of being in the one and done power rankings here. Awesome stuff, guys. As always on these headlines, everybody out there, make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe so you can get all the news and notes, DFS plays, bets, anything and everything that has to do with college football. See, it's in my mind. College basketball. Sorry. Now, also, are there headlines that we've missed? Hit us up in the comments. Let us know. We want to talk to everybody on here, right?
Anybody and everybody.
Fill us up with these comments here. So let's go ahead and move on. We'll talk about some of our explosive performers of the week. Mike, you have the first one here. You want to run down this first player of the week here for us?
Yeah, JVM McCollum, the guard from Oklahoma. He's averaging 15 and 3. He was on our Core Four the other day where he smashed had 19, 7 and 4 and 3 steals against Providence on Tuesday, and then also had the 25 and 4 on Saturday against Arkansas. He's just been an excellent addition from Siena for Coach Moser, and might be a tease, but I think Oklahoma may show up on our power rankings. We'll have to see. I think that's the next segment. But yeah, McCollum playing awesome, and a big reason why the Sooners are one of the last undefeateds.
There you go. Yeah, Sooners being one of the last ones, and I'm sure you're loving that being a Longhorn guy.
Yeah. Well, when we beat them, maybe it makes it sweeter.
No, he's a Baylor guy.
Yeah, I'm a Baylor guy.
All right, Eric, who you got next? Who's next on the list here?
Yeah, look, we have to talk about what Donovan Dent's doing out at New Mexico, right? 17.5 points, 6.5 assists, 54% from the field on the season. This last week in particular, put up a 23-8-2 line where he chipped in 2 steals and 2 blocks. That was against UC Santa Barbara on Wednesday. Then he followed it up with a 22-6-4 line, swiped it 3 more times against a very good Santa Clara squad yesterday. He's been one of the biggest breakout stories in all of college basketball, right? And we spent all offseason banging the drum about how excited we were for House and Mashburn on this roster.
Right.
Obviously, this Lobos team has had to deal with some absences around those 2 guys, and Dent has just absolutely picked up all of the slack. He has been electric so far.
Yeah, the Lobos have a special place in my heart. I lived in Albuquerque for about a year, and got to watch a few of those games out there on the TV. Never went to the games, but it was little
it was on.
It was on, yeah. When I'm at the bar, just watching,
Yeah.
But yeah, when you have all 3 guards healthy. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say when you have all 3 guards healthy, you just got to watch out for those Lobos.
Yeah.
Sure. Mike, back to you. Who you got?
Yeah, Cam Menyawu, a forward from Wyoming. Stat line, it's okay, right? But he's a freshman, so it looks great. 10.7 points, 7.3 rebounds. Had 20 and 11, 2 steals and 2 blocks on Tuesday against SDMT. No, not Division I, but still. Solid 12.6 rebounds, a steal and 2 blocks yesterday against SFA from around our parts here in Texas. Just a fun player to watch, and I love whenever we get all the 5 stars and the 4 stars, and sometimes it's nice to chat about someone that maybe wasn't on the radar. So definitely want to give a shout out to Cam Menyawu. I think he's playing really great right now.
Yeah, the young guy, man. You never know how true freshmen are going to play, but it looks like Wyoming has one of the good ones right now,
man.
right? So, Eric, tell the people who our number 4 spotlight player is today.
Man, we got to go over to Arthur Kaluma, right? Like one of the late swaps in DFS that helped me stay above the pay line over the course of the weekend, averaging 16.5 points, almost 9 boards, 48% from the field on the season. Tuesday against Villanova, he slashed 26, 9, and 4. In that game, I was mentioning 17 points and 11 boards against LSU. It feels like he's really starting to get into a groove with these Wildcats, right? Like Coach Tang is putting him in positions to win. He's highlighting the things he does well. Like I think there's still some upside ahead of this kid, but so far he's really getting into a groove.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, it's been an awesome week for them, for the Wildcats here. It's really been great for them. And of course, Mike, give us our last player on the list, who is from the mid.
Enrique Freeman, and this is no surprise. He's from Akron. If you don't know who he is, you should probably watch them play because his story is awesome. We talked about it over the offseason. He's averaging 18 points, 12 rebounds, over a steal, over a block a game. Bradley, they're pretty tough in the MVC, and all Freeman did from the Action Akron was go 21, 18, and 2 with 4 steals and 4 blocks. Like, ridiculous. 21 and 10 on the road in Northern Kentucky this weekend. I mean, he's just been dominant. We expected it, but to deliver, like, these are like eye-popping numbers that he's showing up. And guess what? Waiver season coming through. Shout out to Jay there on the waiver coming through for Ali. Ali used to play at Akron, transferred to Butler last year, coming back to Akron. He was kind of their number 1 option a few years ago. So now you get the combination of Ali with Freeman, and it looks like Akron's going to be doing their thing. So looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Another huge week in performances here. A lot of great guys out there. We can only do 5, right? There's plenty of them out there.
There's a million of them.
Exactly. And Mike knows everybody by name. But if we've missed anybody, if there's somebody that you think we should have highlighted, definitely put those in the comments. Again, we want everybody to let us know exactly what you're thinking out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And while you're doing that, make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons as well. Now we get to move on to some power rankings, gentlemen.
Power rankings.
Yeah, we had some pretty solid movement on the board. Eric, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you run us down 10 through 6 here?
10 through 6, starting with number 10, a return appearance by the Creighton Blue Jays. They were on these power rankings a few weeks ago.
My national champion.
They've now crept back in, carrying an 8-1 record, and still very much so earning Mike's national championship bets. Look, I mean, there's only one game this week, but they absolutely crushed Central Michigan. Really the only blemish they have on their roster is a loss to Colorado State, which is nothing to be ashamed about, right? And now you look at this team, Shireman, Alexander, like they're really getting into a groove. It feels like they're getting it done night in and night out. So Creighton's coming in at number 10, back on the power rankings. Coming in at number 9, another team that was previously unranked, the Clemson Tigers, 9-0 on the season. Welcome to the graphic. Quality wins this week over South Carolina and TCU. One of the short list of teams that is still unbeaten, right? So we're getting to that point of the year where you have a 0 in that loss column, and you're going to be on a lot of people's top 10s list. Clemson is there. That has a lot to do with PJ Hall and Joe Girard just being absolutely lights out to start the season. Number 8, we will keep the theme alive with a first-time appearance with an undefeated team, the aforementioned Oklahoma Sooners, Mike's beloved Boomer Sooner. Statement wins this week again. Providence, Arkansas, really moved the needle. We spotlighted CJ McCollum, but Uzon and Owe have been super competitive. I mean, this backcourt all together is terrific. So Oklahoma, a well-deserved addition at number 8. And then we're going to get to some familiar faces here. Up 1 spot, the Fighting Shaka Smarts Marquette Golden Eagle get their statement win against the UT Longhorns and do so in pretty dramatic fashion. Kolek, Jones, Iguodala, right? Like the guys that we were really expecting to, take a step forward as the leaders on this team have done so and then some. And their bench feels like it's really kind of getting into a rhythm, right? They can depend on these guys more and more. It feels like the depth on this team is going to be something to worry about as we get closer to postseason play and into the new year. And then lastly, here on the number 10 through 6 graphic, number 6, the UConn Huskies down 1 spot from last week. Big win against North Carolina at Madison Square Garden. They routed Arkansas Pine Bluff this week, which is obviously a win that we would expect them to get. Cam Spencer, Alex Caravan have really been shooting lights out, right? Like when these guys are going to fill it up as they have been in these last couple of games, UConn is going to be a tough out. If we want to nitpick, there was a lot of hype around Donovan Clingan, breaking out this year. We haven't exactly seen it yet. He's shown some flashes, but he's been a little inconsistent, right? So I think a lot of that has to do with them sliding down 1 spot this week to land at number 6.
Right on. Yeah. Hey, welcome to the prestigious Power Rankings. The 3 new members there. Welcome back, Creighton, and to the new members there. All right. That means we've reached our top 5 here. Mike, do us the honors and finishing out our one and done Power Rankings for week number 5.
Well, number 5 holds a very special place in my heart. So, without further ado, I'd like to draw this one out. It's going to be Mike's Baylor Bears. 9-0. They did go down 1 spot. Biased, man. Picked up home wins over Northwestern State and Seton Hall. Misi continues to be a story for them. Just great impact on both ends of the floor. Shrink the schedule, maybe not quite there to start the year, but it picks up. We got Michigan State and Duke on tap. Michigan State just plays everybody. I love it. Like they don't care if they're 5-5 to start the year. They're gonna have tape on everybody by the time they play them in March. Moving up to number 4, the old Rock Chalk Jayhawks from the old Big 12 Baylor neighbors. There down 1 spot, wins over Kansas City and Missouri at home this week. Kevin McCullough, man, just continues to do his thing with an impressive year. And then obviously Hunter Dickinson, just been a monster, man. So those 2 guys, a very dynamic duo. At number 3, the one pushing Kansas, Baylor, and UConn down is the Boilermakers of Purdue, 9-1. 2 quality wins, man. Trounced Iowa at home on Monday. That was embarrassing what ED did to them. And then went on the road, got a legit road win at an SEC school at Alabama. Able to play well down the stretch there. Like Zach Edey, he's on his way to another Player of the Year trophy, it looks like. But yeah, like you mentioned earlier, Eric, like the guards have just played so much better against ball pressure this year and just not turning the ball over. Number 2, Houston Cougs. I think they're in the Big 12 as well. This is crazy. No change for them, staying at the number 2 spot. They beat Rice and Jackson State by a combined 80 points. Ouch. The number 1 adjusted defense on KenPom, but they play their first ranked AP top 25 opponent, the Aggies, this coming Saturday. So looking forward to that. And then we got same old Arizona Wildcats at the number 1 spot. No suspense here. 1 game this week. They blew out Wisconsin. All 5 starters were in double figures. Caleb Love went bonkers. Shout out to Jay and his son, his favorite player there. And the schedule for Arizona, I don't know if they're going to stay in this number 1 spot very long. Purdue's coming up. Alabama's coming up. Florida Atlantic is on deck as well. So the next 3 games for them, if they're 11-0, I don't know what else to say about this team, but you got to be feeling good, Chris. A lot of Big 12 representation, but the Pac-12 still in that number 1 spot.
Yeah, we got to hold on as hard as we can, with these Big 12 guys trying to move it up there.
Yeah, man.
So top 5, we have Baylor Bears, Kansas Jayhawks, Purdue Boilermakers, Houston Cougars, and the number 1 in the Pac-12 and in everybody's hearts except for mine, the Arizona Wildcats. Still on top. All right, shifting gears to the DFS side for tomorrow. We have a 4-game slate. Eric, let's get our people the core 4 for them to build around. Let them know.
Yeah, this is a segment that has been printing money so far this season. So we're going to try to keep that hot streak rolling. 4 guys for tomorrow's 4-game set over on DraftKings. Number 1, Sam Brown, the guard from Penn, 4.9K. He's a freshman, but he's played big minutes for them in the last 4 games. He's got a 29, another 29, and a 32 to show for it in 3 of those last 4. And someone who's going to play that much and put up that kind of production is just too cheap at 4.9K. So like going here, we'll stick with the Ivy Leagues. Danny Wolf, the forward from Yale, 5.6K. 7-foot sophomore, tied for the team lead in usage and in shot rate. He's doing so much for this Yale side. You add in a 6% block rate and shooting 48% from 3, and his upside is unreal. So another guy that is too cheap at 5.6K, probably going to be one of the more popular plays on the slate, but it's chalk that you can work around, and that salary relief is tremendous. Seth Towns will be our third option, the forward from Howard. One of the best stories in the sport, the 8th-year guy in the college basketball ranks. He was the Ivy League Player of the Year back in 2018, 5 years ago. Injuries, unfortunately, really derailed his career, and he's bounced back in a nice way, right? He hasn't posted a game under 25 points this year. He should be fairly popular as well, right? Like the price tags all around on this slate. This feels like it's pretty soft. You can work around a lot of them. So we'll go with Howard for the third guy, with Seth Towns from Howard as the third guy, and our fourth guy, Jonathan Mogbo, the forward from San Francisco. Get to spend some of that money we've been saving, 9.7K.
Cash, baby.
Dude is just a beast, right? 37, 47, 48 in his last 3 games. I mean, the price is tough, but I mean, raw points matter on a 4-game slate. You're saving plenty of money with the other 3 options that we put in there. So, I mean, like, good luck if you're thinking about fading Mogbo out there. And even with a 9.7 guy, basically a 10K guy in our build, still got 5.9K per left to play with, right? So, I mean, some other quick thoughts, like Gonzaga is a 40-point favorite. So, I mean, you're going to have to be careful with how many minutes some of their frontline guys are going to get. If you want to stack a game here, you can spin right off of our Towns and Brown play. The Howard Penn game should be a pretty interesting one to build around. Both these defenses are terrible.
Defense
and there are
optional.
A lot of guys,
defense optional.
yeah, there are a lot of guys that are just generally underpriced on this slate. So should be a fun one. Fun to see some of these mid-major guys getting a little shine on the Monday slate.
Perfect. Yeah. I love that core, right? We have Sam Brown, Danny Wolf, Seth Towns, and Jonathan Mogbo. Make sure you guys are taking your notes out there. Actually, it looks like we got a new comment out there.
Yeah, Core 4 is fire.
Fire!
Eat them up.
Eat them up, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a small slate. So like you said, Eric, the raw points are needed to take down that $2,000 big gem prize. Moving on, last segment here, fellas. Let's find us some bets for tomorrow. Mike, what's the rundown? What do you got?
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest week. I think we were 1-3-1 last week, but hey, it happens. So I think we're right around 50% for the year. I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to jump on this Gonzaga and MVSU total. It's sitting at 142 on DraftKings. Gonzaga's going to score 100, and I don't know if they give away like free tacos or whatever, but like I just know at the end of this game the crowd's going to be going crazy for them to hit 100. And MVSU, like they're projected 50, so if I do my math, if I think they're going to hit 100, even if MVSU goes under by 4, I was told there was no math on this show, but that's still more than 142. So I'm going to take the over 142 on the Mississippi Valley State and Gonzaga over. And then I'll show a little love to Howard, man. Plus 4.5 or the money line. I get some plus money there. At Penn, I think this is going to be a very, very tight contest. Both of these teams, like kind of mentioned, like not a lot of defense, but they've also got some offensive firepower. So I think Seth Towns will be a difference maker. He's a grown man, right? In his 8th year, and he's just playing really good. And they've got some other guys on the team that can really hurt you. So I do like getting 4.5 for Howard there. So those are the 2 best bets for tomorrow. Chris, you want to go ahead and close us out?
Yeah, I'll close us out, guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure you take your notes. Make sure you comment. Let us know how we did. Let us know if we missed anything. Let us know if you completely disagree with Mike, because that makes us happy and gives us something to talk about during the week. Also, just make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons. Help us out. You can follow me at The Real Napier on X. You can follow Mr. Mike over here at MC Holland 34. Fantasy Nav on X and Twitter. Guys, let's go get that bread.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.